Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Big Brother 22 discussion for the Thursday eviction show. Confession right off the start. That weird Halloween music they were playing in the HoH Cup, it is stuck in my head. It will not leave.
It is also stuck in my head. We will not sing it here.
We may have already, or I may have already sang it in another video that we are not posting, but that is fine.
Yep, we don't need to get demonetized.
Especially for that, out of all the things we're going to do, is Matt saying a dumb Halloween, probably cheap to purchase music that CBS bought, but just imagine it in your head. It's spooky. It's how apparently that is a good substitute for not giving us a slip and slide comp. Like, what gives people?
Yeah, it's not coming this season, guys. I feel like it's not. However, I am interested to get into everybody's reads on what we did see with this HOH because I think Nicole might have this. She was really steady.
I don't know. Okay, we'll have a good discussion about this as we get into it. As of this recording, we do not know who the winner is,
No.
but we'll talk through everything in the episode. The Jury House segment that we finally got, I was very hesitant about ever hyping it in here because I didn't honestly know if we were going to have a Jury House this season, but we did. We'll talk about that, Tyler's eviction, a lot more. Before we get into it, if you guys do enjoy this video, subscribe, give us a like, support us further. Check those links to the store, our Patreon, and also, if you love The Boys, Season 2 is over. We have our full review up for that as well. I highly suggest you have some fun and check that out with us.
Yeah, if you're not watching The Boys, you absolutely should be. It is such a great show, and it was a really good season.
Yeah, it was, and it was a lot of fun to close that off, and I at least had a decent amount of fun in this episode, more so than last night, which was really just a predictable, I'm not going to go snooze fest, but not as fun as I would like.
No, it was good to have the jury segment. It was good to sort of see where people landed in this stuff. I know we had a bit of a conversation about Danny and whether or not she was going to be bitter or if she was going to be a game player, and I thought that she was going to do this, that she was going to be a game player, she was going to look at things objectively and have a little time to cool off, and she did. I mean, she really is a game player.
The big takeaway is, yeah, I was surprised that Danny was able to think so clearly so fast. I guess it does speak to her being a returning player and sort of understanding how this works, but just judging from the behavior of those people, Cody's got this on lock. Like, if he makes it there, he's got Danny. I know Ian seemed reasonably pro-Nicole, but I didn't think that he was so pro-Nicole that for sure he would give her a vote at the end from what we saw.
No, he said that he understood it. It was a game move, and he felt like it was a good game move, and he's fine with that part of it. But that doesn't mean she's getting the win from him. I mean, Cody is playing the best game, and Ian also a game player, so he's going to look at everything that people did to get there.
One thing I'll say about Ian, and Ian, you know I love you. You know that I was rooting for you personally, probably more than anyone. Danny was not running the game, Ian. I'm sorry. That was not the amount of the belief that these people all seem to have that Danny was really. Can we even call Danny's game so-so this season? Like
Okay, I don't think it was that bad. No,
she had a big alliance.
Yes.
She single-handedly came close to sabotaging her own spot in that alliance a number of times. And I love Danny in 13. I wanted her to do well, but I think if she was not in that blob, she would have been de-blobbed so much sooner than she was.
Everybody who wasn't in that blob was de-blobbed. So yeah, that's true. If she wasn't in there, she wasn't going to be in the house.
Obvious
anymore.
assumptions with Matt. On this week's edition, if you're not in the alliance doesn't want to keep you.
That's right.
I have not drank anything yet, I promise. This is a real winning argument by me so far in this video.
I don't think that Danny played a bad game this season. I don't agree with everything she did, but I think that she was holding a lot of it together. It's just very hard when it comes to something like a triple that none of them have ever been up against at that point.
I'm a little disappointed we didn't have a jury house fight. Like, those are always my favorite part of it, when someone comes in and they're, like, really, really mad, and they're just like, how could you, to someone else, or, like, they, like, think that the cameras aren't gonna catch them, like, with Nick and Kat last season, which was, like, the Nick, I just imagine Nick having, it's like, okay, we can't act a certain way on the cameras, they'll never notice.
Yeah, no, I was actually surprised that it was as kind of cool as it was. I didn't think anyone was going to be like really mad or anything like that, because most of the people that are there are all the underdogs, so they were all on the losing side besides Danny. But I was actually pretty happy to see that there was a lot of people that were thinking about this more strategically. Yeah, Davon did say, of course, that she's hurt, but she's going to be looking at it objectively as well. And I like that there's going to be a lot of people in there that are doing that. But if they don't get Cody out, he has won. He's absolutely won. That is what I've taken away from this segment.
I have also taken away that Enzo needs to take out Cody. Like, these people do not have a lot of love for Enzo right now. They think that he is sort of Cody's puppet, or he's doing whatever the numbers want. So this is my thinking with Enzo. We don't know what's going to happen with this HoH.
Yeah.
I think Enzo needs to win the Final Four veto and take out Cody at that point, because I don't think you can risk him being in the Final Three, because you don't know. Like, there's just not a lot of leeway. There's not a lot of time to get him out. If you have that shot at Final Four, you got to do it.
Enzo has played a great game, but the problem is that the people in the jury don't really realize it, because all the people he's played the great game with are still in the house. So it's almost a little bit like Godfrey, where he played this really great game, but nobody knew he was doing it until it was at the end, and it was kind of like just too late.
This is a big flaw in the Big Brother jury system, which I think is decent, but they barely give anyone time to address the jury in the finale.
Yep.
They think, for whatever reason, we need long segments about nonsense that doesn't always matter, and I wish we had longer jury arguments. And beyond all that, like the person in third place, they don't really get to spend any time at all with the jury. They can't really talk to them about anything. The person in fourth place, they don't exactly get a ton of time with the jury either. So yes, this can really screw over someone like Enzo, who is playing an under the radar but really strong social game.
Yeah, and we saw again tonight people using their goodbye messages to basically explain their game. And before I was thinking, when we didn't know for sure that there was no battle back. Yes, they had said earlier there wasn't one, but that doesn't mean there wasn't going to be a jury one.
Yeah.
You never know with this game. So when Tyler was like explaining his game to people, and I was in the commission, or the committee, and all this was happening, I was just like, why is he doing this? He's not 100% sure yet that there's no jury battle back. Now Memphis is doing it too. He's like, oh, I'm part of the wise guys. I got this happening here and this happening here. It is a very good move to be explaining this stuff, because Enzo was explaining nothing. He's good at making people feel good about going out the door, but they just think he's like a nice guy that's being protected by Cody. And that's not 100% true.
He isn't doing a good enough job using his using his goodbye messages. I think he could be doing much better with that. He could be doing better in the house of just showing more clarity. I don't know if it's just he hasn't played in so long, or the game has changed a lot. But let me ask you this. When Julie said, and there have been conversations that have been going on about the vote all day, did you start to think that Tyler was actually going to be safe?
No. I mean, of course, there's been a lot of waffling going on the past few days. They have been going back and forth and trying to figure out. But like we said in the earlier video, the timing has always just been off, where it's kind of like Nicole wants to keep him, but, Enzo doesn't. And then it's back the other way. It's just swinging back and forth, where they just weren't ever really on the same page with Tyler.
Tyler pulled some shenanigans today. We don't know exactly what it was, but the moment he was evicted, he was just like, bah, I had to try it, guys. So he clearly tried something. I don't know what it was. I hope they show us on, it's on Monday night. I'm probably not going to get that down for the rest of the season.
Yeah, sorry, we have been saying still Sunday. It has been Sunday forever.
I know.
And so now that they've switched it to Monday, we know we will probably continue to make the mistake. So we hope that you guys just keep it in mind. We're human. We're probably going to make the mistake.
We will get it right after the season is over.
That's right. When it just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I hope on Monday they actually do include this, because I want to know what Tyler did. What did he try to do to really sort of make these people so upset or whatever else?
Yeah, I mean, I know he said that last thing in his speech or whatever, where it was kind of like, you guys don't know, you guys got to keep me or else kind of thing, but it was just so vague that it was just like, all right, was that it? Was that it?
I think he did something before the show. I don't know what it is that he did, but I will say this. I love how he went out. He was such a good sport. He was fun with everyone.
Big smiles, big hugs. He knows it's a game.
He knows it's a game. And Tyler, I think in the end, I am a Tyler fan because I loved him on 20. I still think his game on 20 is one of the best games of Big Brother for someone who did not win. It's not Daniel Reyes, but he's really, really high up there. His head wasn't fully in it this time. I think even if you like Tyler, I think you can say that, and I don't think it's wrong. He almost tried to quit at one point. It wasn't a good look for him.
Yeah, his head just wasn't in the game, and it was clearly pretty clear from the beginning. He just wasn't really wanting to be there, and he made it pretty far for someone who just wasn't really all there.
This is where we tell CBS once more, and sometimes CBS, you have to be sort of the parent here who looks after all of us rambunctious kids, where we say, we want a unicorn, or we want a 800 layer cake, or we want like a whole pool full of orange soda, or something like this.
Is that what they're delivering?
No, but then, see, we're like this sometimes.
CBS, can I have a new car?
Okay. You go on The Price is Right. I think those give those away there. I touched the big wheel once. That is my, I scored a touchdown in a high school football game story that I will repeat until I die. No, I have never played football. But no, okay.
But you did touch the big wheel.
I did touch the big wheel. It is a great achievement in my life. But yeah, see, we're always like this with CBS, where we want all this stuff, and we ask all the time for All-Stars, and they finally give it to us, and it's not that great. And I think CBS sometimes needs to be like, we're looking out for you guys. You may think you want an All-Stars, but you know what? You don't want that giant pool of orange soda. You're going to rot your teeth. All these All-Stars, they're going to rot your teeth because not all of them are going to be fully in the game. Some of them are going to let you down. You're not going to get the players you want. I know this is a weird time. I'm glad we had a season. This was probably the only way we'd have one, but still.
Listen, sometimes you do want a nacho cheese fountain, and you're fine burning your mouth on it. I am happy that we have any season at all, even if it wasn't the most exciting season. I will take a dry season over no season.
I will agree with that fully, and I am glad we have it, but I hope that they do not do another All-Stars anytime soon.
No, I don't need to see another All-Stars, and I don't need to see any returning players for a while. It is a different time now where everybody is on social media. There's a lot of sort of in there for Instagram followers and stuff like that. Just give me a bunch of new people.
By the way, Jess has been mentioning a nacho cheese fountain for the better part of like 9 years at this point.
That's right. One of these days I'm going to have it, and I will burn my mouth, and I will be all right with it because I'll be like this under it.
See, I don't know if I love nacho cheese. I don't want to say I don't. It's a big take here, but I'll try it. I'll try it.
It's more for me.
Okay. All right. Well,
let's talk about this HoH because there wasn't. They didn't give us much. No. And there was only a few people that had pumpkins at the end of their spoons. I was more so just looking at sort of how big the beam was. We got some, bigger guys like Memphis on there. Memphis's beam and like spoon was shaking a lot. Like that pumpkin on the end did not look like that was going to be staying. In fact, I think it may have fallen off because he was just cursing as it was like going out. So I was like, okay, that must have rolled out or something. But his beam was really shaking. Enzo's was shaking, a little less, but it was still shaking. Nicole was going slow. I did see she ended up having a pumpkin at the end of it, but she was really steady. That beam was steady, and she is small. I think this might be it.
First of all, here are the Big Brother producers when they were building this competition for Memphis with his bad back and his bad foot. Like they're not having it with Memphis at this point. They're gonna give them this comp. I think we've seen variations of this before. I think we saw one in 16. It's not the slip and slide. No. It is a repeat. I guess they wanted to give us something that's like marginally Halloween themed.
So who are you thinking is gonna win this?
I think it's probably I think it's probably going to be Christmas, and I've already said that.
Putting this out there, I don't know why I asked. I am sorry, everybody.
Hey, listen, there are people rooting for Christmas now. Okay, I should rephrase that. They're not rooting for Christmas. It's just sort of one of those things. I'm using another food analogy, so be prepared. Where you've already eaten like 20 chicken wings, and somebody brings you another couple of chicken wings, and you know it's not good for you, but you're just like, I'm just going to have these anyway. It's like, we know that Christmas is going to bring us a lot of mental anguish, but it's just sort of like, you know what? We've all been through it so much. At least she's going to give us like that momentary satisfaction of seeing some chaos. So they're just like, I'll take it.
If Christmas is the person to take out Cody, like, I'm just going to see myself out.
I'm going to be really afraid if that happens, because that is increasing the odds that I'm going to have to eat the dog treat on finale night if she wins the game.
Yep.
But, okay, I do think it's probably going to be either Christmas or Nicole, because, I think this competition does favor small people and people who are lighter. Yep. I do know Nicole, she did make it clear she was training in secret with Victor before the season to make sure she was up to shape for these comps.
Oh yeah, she was really in shape with that OTEV.
Okay, yes, she did not do OTEV training. Maybe she did pumpkin patch training.
Yeah.
And she's prepared for this. I think it's probably going to be one of those two based on what we saw.
She was pretty steady on that thing. If she can keep that up and just bring up the pace a little bit, I mean, she's going to be all right.
I just want some drama. Like, really, that's what I'm asking. For some ridiculous reason, they've decided to draw out these last few weeks. This is why they screwed it up on the triple. I know the triple gave us a lot of drama, but we sacrificed.
Did it, though?
Well, it could have, but that's the thing. You guys blew it. You gave us the triple eviction, which wasn't even that exciting, when we could have at least had more people in the house longer. Now we're going to watch the slow drip of the rest of this season play out.
And Christmas taking out Cody. Oh.
I don't know who's going to win if Cody actually does get evicted this week. I think he'll probably win the veto and stick around, but we will see. We'll miss you, Tyler. At least you were a good spirit at the end of all of this.
He was.
So we'll see what happens from here. But who do you want to see win HoH? What did you think about the episode? Do you think anyone other than Cody has a real significant chance of winning right now? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this discussion, subscribe for more. Give us a like. Support us further. Check those links to the store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.